Everyone see that?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, brief introduction to Atom. What is Atom? Atom's essentially another text editor similar to Sublime. It's only about, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but 2 years old or 3 years old. And essentially, it's very hackable. They describe it, what GitHub describes it as, is Atom is a text editor that's modern, approachable, yet hackable to the core. So you can customize to do anything, but also use productively without ever touching a config file. Atom is open source, which I'll get into later because there's a bunch of packages and installations available. Atom is slower than Sublime. One of the main complaints about Atom is that it takes like 5 seconds to load up. It'll bog down if you're doing like multi-line select or something of that nature. I think the positives outweigh the negatives in this instance. And part of the reason for that is Atom is a web hybrid based on Electron, unlike Sublime, which is an application written in C++. So it has JavaScript, it has CoffeeScript, it has a bunch of other languages built into it already. So here is my Atom. And right now, this is a new app I'm working on for my personal website. Now, the first thing you can probably notice is this right here on the left. These yellow folders are Git differences. So as you can see, like in this folder right here, you can tell by right here, I actually deleted 2 lines. So that's one advantage, is that in Atom, that's automatically built in. Another thing, now this is where Atom really shines, is all the packages. Now if I go into Preferences, I go into Packages. These are all the current themes that I actually have installed. I have Auto Indent, Color Picker, and a bunch of other stuff. A couple linters, Minimap, which is this guy right here, which on a larger file like this one, like my views, like that, I can just scroll up and down. Like I said, part of the whole great thing about Atom is all the packages available. One of the packages that are available is, like, let's say, HTML to HAML. So if you do Shift Command P, if you do right here, Shift Command P, if I select all, Shift Command P, and then type in HTML to HAML, I don't know what. Oh, there it is. That's part of the problem with Atom, is it's kind of slow. Like on an instance like that with something that's 158 lines, and I didn't even select everything. But as you can see, all these things change. All this changed to HAML, and that's based off a Heroku app that's online. It's just kind of stuff that you have that will just make it a lot easier for you. Instead of going to a website, you can just click a key. And as you can see, this little thing on the left is Git differences. So all these lines haven't been pushed to GitHub yet. Another cool thing on Atom is called Color Picker. There's Color Picker and there's Pigments. What Pigments does is, as you can see on all these colors, it actually shows me the color. And if I were to go to right-click on Color Picker, and I can actually change the color just by doing this and clicking it. A couple smaller things that I have on this that aren't built into Atom is I have like a select all, whenever I select a specific trait, like HR, it highlights all of them. Whichever line I'm on, it highlights the line. Essentially, anything you can think of that you can customize is available on Atom, and obviously you can build out your own stuff. And one more thing I'll show you guys, and if you guys have any questions, like I said, this is going to be a quick talk, is an auto indent. And another thing, as you can see all these lines right here for your indentation, that's actually a plugin for Atom, so I can actually see my indentation. But like if I hit Shift Command I, it automatically indents everything for me instead of having to go through it. Really anything you could think of, from the stupidest thing to like a huge thing like linters and everything else. Like I have Rubocop installed right now. And like if I were to just do like define create, as you can see, the program yells at me because I don't have an end and my indentations are mismatched, it's telling me. And one more thing while I'm thinking of it is I also have a program, I forget what it's called to be honest, that allows me to check what the ends correspond with. So if I click this end, it's with the freelancer's controller itself. If I hit this end, it's telling me it's with define index. If you look it up, you can really, I've been using Atom for about 2 months and I am constantly changing it. So really, just whatever you're doing, like me and Ben right now are working on a site that has Haml, which is why I have that Haml converter instead of having to go to the website each time. I think that's really it. So
Hey Joe, I have a question.
what?
How did you determine that Atom is slower than Sublime Text?
Everyone was honestly, everyone was complaining about it because I didn't use Sublime because you were the one that told me to use Atom. I used Sublime for about 3 weeks in Firehose, and then I moved over to Atom. But that's kind of the thing is like if you look it up, like the differences between Atom is everyone complains about the speed of Atom. They've made changes, I guess, but.
So have you heard of the Atom plugin that is like the Sublime Nagware, where every like 10 saves it pops up an annoying thing?
Oh, really?
Somebody built
the
it.
Asteroid one.
What's the Asteroid one?
You can play asteroids on Sublime.
That's so cool.
I mean, excuse me, Atom.
Cool, good stuff. Does anybody have any questions for Joe?
Have you used Ruby Test yet?
No, I just use Rubocop right now.
Yeah, if you start getting more heavy into testing, it's actually a pretty slick package. You can run your tests straight from Atom. So if you have the specific file, say if you're running your controller test, you don't want to run your entire test suite. You can just run straight from that file, so you don't have to switch over to a console and run your tests. If you're doing rapid deployments and rapid coding, it's pretty slick.
Yeah, that's one of the things I tried to stay away from, to be honest, with Atom. I don't know why, for whatever reason, because I like using my terminal, is like they have a bunch of Git things in it too, where you can just push to Git from Atom. They also have like a Vim emulator, which I'm not even going to touch. But
I've seen some issues with Ruby Test when you're dealing with API-based stuff. So if it's not really, like the code base I was working on was like not your typical code base. So sometimes Ruby Test would just like puke and not want to deal with it at all. But for like simple testing and stuff, it works pretty sweet. You just got to up your RAM and then you'll be fine. You can run everything from there.
Yeah.
It's slow because it's built on top of Chromium. So that's why,
Well, cool, good stuff. Does anybody else have any other questions for Joe?
I'd have a quick edit or add to it. Like the one thing that, I mean, I'm not using Atom, but the one thing that I think is really nice that you see your branches within your editor. So you don't have to go to do like a Git branch or something to see which one it is. You know that inside of Atom. Do you use that a lot? Do you actually realize that it saves you time because you don't have to check which branches you're on when you're switching back and forth?
Yeah, I know in the bottom, I'm always aware in the bottom right corner that I have that Git branch. That's the one thing that really drew me to Atom, was the fact that all the Git stuff automatically built in.
That you can see that, yeah.
And also it actually tells you your git differences in the bottom right corner also, which I forgot to mention. Right next to your branch, it tells you your lines that you changed.
Yeah, super cool. It's a cool editor for sure.